Hey guys, so it's about finances today. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We're going to talk a little about our perspective, where we come from as a family, and I hope you guys enjoy it from whatever aspect of life you're coming from, and you can take something from it. Enjoy, guys.
Yo, what's up, guys?
What's up, everybody?
What up, guys?
Hey guys, I'm Michael,
I'm Paula.
and we are
The
the
DeRosiers.
DeRosiers. We're here to bring you guys perspective from a husband,
And a wife.
a father,
And a mother.
and best friend.
Best friends.
Mwah. So, we've had a lot go on this week, but the one thing that I want to jump into and talk about was finances, or money even. So to give not perspective, but to give some authenticity, we are in the process of, of getting out of debt. We're a family of 3, and one thing that I want to bring.
We're a family of 5. We have 3
we
kids.
have 3 kids. You're right.
And then us. It's a family of 5.
But so we're in the process of getting out of debt, and we realize there are some decisions that we made growing up because we weren't taught, what it was to buy with cash, in a sense, or to make sure you have the money before you buy it. Now, I understand there's emergencies and things like that, and we first got married, and there were some things we had to have, and so we had to go buy it. And for the most part, we didn't go past our budget on that. But then we may not have planned the best when we decided to get a house, and we needed furniture, we needed washer and dryer and a fridge and things like that. And I think the washer and dryer and fridge were obviously they were necessary, but there's a possibility we probably could have waited on furniture and things like that nature and stuff.
Well, we did pay cash for furniture because remember when we went to the garage sale and
Well, yeah.
we paid like $300 for like a whole furniture.
But that was like after having our first kid and after we were in the house.
When we moved to the house.
And so just some things that we're recognizing, and one of those is that even before we were married, I think that I wanted to touch on was college debt. This is not a recommendation, I guess. This is my perspective of what I believe. You can take it or leave it, but I believe with college, if it's like with her, she's a teacher, you have to have a degree, correct?
Of some sort, yeah.
Of some kind.
And you get testing, yeah. Yes,
but I'm saying
yes.
to become an art teacher, you had to have, from where you went to school, you got a double major in art education, in art and education, art education major.
Yeah.
So because of that, she had to do that to be able to do what she wanted to do. Now, is she doing that? Yes. Is she happy with what she's doing? Yes. And I think that is where it comes into play. Where if you're having to do something that you want to be doing that makes you happy, do it. But obviously, especially for parents who have kids, what I want to really instill in my children is to have their schooling together. If they're wanting to go to college, then have your grades together, have your ACT scores up, get scholarships.
Yeah, work hard for scholarships. Do whatever you can to not be in school debt. Being a teacher, I see students work hard because they get it. They understand what debt is. But it's very, and I go to a school with, it's a good school, but not all of the kids understand. I understood what debt was, luckily. My mom taught me what credit cards were, how they were used.
I didn't.
What APR was. So I knew what credit cards were, and I knew what to do to keep a good credit score. But what I didn't know is, I think, with society, we're expected to have credit cards. And to use credit cards. And it's a whole, when you think about it, I'll just say this one last thing. It's a whole marketing scheme. You don't get credit. It's a debt card. They call it a credit card because, you can get credit scores. But in reality, you're in debt. So it's not, it's not the best. And then it gives us that whole instantaneous mentality
gratification
of getting something now
instant gratification
and paying it off later, which I think is, affecting our society.
Well, and that's a big issue because a lot of parents who our generation that like I think we came from. I think it also doesn't help with some of my background, what I went through of not having that understanding and training as well as it needed to be, and having that discipline. I think that's a big word. Discipline of knowing where your money's going, knowing what you're buying, and do you really need it?
Yeah.
I think that's a big, because there's a lot of stuff we realize that we bought and like we don't even touch it.
That's how we've become such a consumerism, society with credit cards. I mean, there's a whole history lesson behind that, but it's gotten heavy because we're able to have access to all of these things so fast, and it just really affects our minds and our mentality. So and then you get oppressed by trying to pay off all this stuff.
Yeah, and so one thing that we started doing is realizing like before we buy something with our finances, do we need it or do we want it?
Yeah.
Like right now, something I'm going through is my editing laptop is being. Our children are at the door. I told you to wait.
Oh,
Then
go
go
potty.
to the potty. More perspective. Go in the garage. Go. Then just wait.
It's not like a potty like in the garage. It's actually in our laundry room. Just to clarify, we're not
They just send
our
them to the garage
kids.
to go potty in the garage.
It's
They
like
live in
adjacent to the garage.
So, I just blanked what I was saying now. Oh, so with the want and need, I was talking about our situation where my laptop that I was editing on, my MacBook, is crashing constantly because it's getting older, and we had to decide what we're going to do about whether we want to. I wanted to build a computer because with video editing, it's easier with a faster computer. Long story short, and we had to realize we can't do that right now because there are other necessities. Like we are going to need tires on our car. There's some other bills that we want to get paid off in order to bring more income to pay more debt off. And one way that's helped us recognize all that stuff is I think I forgot. Oh, here it is. So one thing is extra income. So one thing we've done is there's a thing called that I noticed or something I learned from Gary Vee, and he did like 3 episodes called Trash Talk, and he talked about going to garage sales, getting items, and flipping them, whether it's through Facebook Market, whether it's through eBay, whether it's through Amazon. There's several ways because a lot of people, when it comes to their business, they're like, well, I don't have money. Well, Craigslist has a free section. Marketplace gives away free stuff. A lot of people give away free stuff on another one called the Nextdoor app.
Oh, yeah.
Which is your neighborhood and whatnot. And people will post stuff that they're just giving away.
Yeah.
That they don't want, that they're trying to get rid of. Garage sales, all kinds of stuff to where you can flip money and make extra money to pay off debt. And that's what we're doing. Like we've sold a ton of stuff just out of our own home that we just don't touch, or baby stuff that we don't need anymore. Mm-hmm. And we're working on getting our debt paid off.
Yeah.
And so we learned that's one avenue. Another avenue is my wife does Young Living essential oils, and it's not something that we cash a lot of money out to or have a lot of time for, but we just share it when we can.
Yeah.
And we're able to make a little bit extra, and it's not like large, huge amounts, but it is in the long term big because we're knocking off debt slowly, and it's slow. It's faster than just we have an extra $100 this month. We've gathered quite a bit because we've also implemented a system in place. And the reason I kind of bring up Young Living is because I think I mentioned it before. I meet with a bunch of guys every 6 months. Long story short, there's a guy there who introduced his book, which is super, like you can't even see.
I read it like in one sitting.
And it's called Let's Talk Money. This is not me trying to get you to go buy this. This is just me letting you know there's a way to actually help.
Yeah, there's resources out
budget, but it's not really budgeting. But another app that I really recommend is the EveryDollar app. You can do it on your laptop at everydollar.com or do it on your phone with the app. So it's really convenient because you have both ways. Mm-hmm. I do it on the computer because it's a little more easier to navigate. But basically, it's allowed us to see exactly how much we have left over each month. And we also have the ability to I move all of our money into our one account for paying bills off, and it's paid automatically. Another one for our everyday spending, which I do budget for food and for gas and for all those things. And then we have that holding account, which we have no access to, except for moving money to want to pay extra stuff off and whatnot.
That's where our paychecks automatically go in the holding
and
account.
any cash that we have come into hand, I'm putting into that account.
Yeah, and then it disperses to those various accounts, and we have an emergency savings account that we also don't touch. So.
And so, like, to give a synopsis, it's basically like it's the Dave Ramsey system, but it's set up automatically for people who can't handle money very well. Like, have that money in your hand, like, it's going to be gone. Like, you're going to spend it. Like, look at all this cash I have.
It's just digital.
And some people are the opposite. You know, I know some people have said it's easier for them to have cash. They won't spend the cash because they feel more resistant to hold on to it.
Yeah.
So, have you noticed, like, your opinion on the system we've set up? Have you noticed a difference? I know, like, a lot of the guys talk about not arguing with their wives really anymore just because they have a system in place knowing the money's going. Like, your opinion.
I noticed at least with me, it's kept me from like buying things that I don't need. I haven't gone to like the convenience store like Quick Trip nearly as often because I see where everything is at when it's just in one
limit
when it's
too.
just and when it's just in one big pot, you know, it looks like you have enough, and you might have enough, but
you just don't know. It's a guessing game.
And then you spend money on something that you could live without and put it into something more useful. So that's how it's helped me a lot. Help us save money.
Yeah.
So,
Let me see.
I think the only time I usually go to Quick Trip is if I leave my water cup here for work and I'm like, dang it, I need something to drink. And so I get like a tea for like $1 and I can fill up that cup throughout the day.
But then on top of that is what's nice is when we budget, we know exactly what it went to, and we know, okay, if we cut this back, we can save X amount, pay that off. And so that's one big way, like, so like where we're at, what we're doing to accomplish, and where we want to be is we want to be financially free in order to, like, I'm starting to do these videos, and I would like to, I'm looking into going into now, I got to research it more, but into market advertising, help it market, like, she does art, and it's figuring out how to kind of push that forward, and to do the things that we love, because if you're chasing the money, you're not going to be happy. Like, you see people with tons of money, and they're miserable.
Probably going to be stressed out, if anything.
But also, it's the fact of, like, you working at Jinx and being a teacher, does it get stressful sometimes?
Yeah.
Honestly, it does. It does, because you got a ton of high schoolers, and you got other coworkers. But at the same time, though, do you love it?
Yeah.
So obviously, doing the love for that job trumps being happy about it.
Absolutely.
So in that, it still goes hand in hand with finance, because if you're not doing what you love, you're going to be miserable.
Yeah.
Working your job, and then you're not going to want to put a system in place, and you're just going to want to go home and have a glass of wine and pass out every night, and you're going to feel miserable, and then your marriage or whatever, like, things just start to crumble because your finances get out of whack because you're not happy at your job, and you just get overwhelmed by all this stuff. And so that's where we're wanting to be. We're wanting to be doing what we love to do. But even more so, like, my big why of doing these videos, of wanting to go into marketing and advertising of some kind, is to help others pursue the dreams that they have. Because we know what it's like. And I want to help kids that are like 18, 19. I have a girl who's 19 getting married, just moved into an apartment.
He doesn't have it's a friend.
Sorry, I have a friend who...
You know a girl.
Oh, that's what I meant. It's morning here. But I'm helping her get this system in place so that when she's married, that way they as a couple will make smart decisions moving forward and not accrue more debt than what they make. And also on top of that way they can start looking at what they're wanting to pursue for their goals. That's another big thing I'm helping her, trying to help her recognize. Is just like, what are you wanting to do? What is it going to take to get there? Kind of manufacturing that steps of where you want to be, and then walking that backwards.
That is true. Like if you have goals, I just learned this. Like, you almost have to work backwards. Like, you see where you're at and you see where your goal is, and then you write down the steps backwards to get to that.
To get to that goal, yeah. And then on top of that, one big thing is mentally. If you actually, there's been some research and stuff that when you say this is where I want to be, but you have these things in the way, you mentally automatically start making tasks in your head.
Yeah.
But if you say, I am debt-free, I am wealthy, or I am happy and doing the job that I love, and you make those statements, and I'm not saying like you can make those statements and you get there. It's making those statements so that when it comes time to execute, you're not putting stumbling blocks in your way.
Yeah.
Because you still have to work at it. You can't just have words of affirmation and be like, yeah, and God's going to give it to me, and we're going to be like, no. You have to work at it still. And so in all of that, the biggest inspiration for like doing a lot of this stuff is my nephew. He is a 15-year-old, 13-16 freshman in high school. And
well, when he's 16, he'll be a sophomore.
yeah,
I was
he's
going to
15,
say, man,
turning
a
16.
16-year-old sophomore or freshman, that's old.
No. He'll be 16 and whatnot turning. But I'm trying to get him to understand what it is to plan, what it is to think ahead, think about the tools that he has right now, how he can make money now in order to start pursuing his goals of what he wants, and just being candid about finances, being candid about college, being candid about those things, because I tell him, like, don't go to debt with college. We're dealing with that now, and it is an atrocity.
Yeah.
Like, it's a ton of money we have to pay off. But yeah, so just, I think that's kind of the short synopsis of, you know, like I said, where we're at with our finances.
Yeah.
Because we're in debt. We are. I mean, just, honestly, we're in that, you know, 50 whatever percentage of people who have debt up to their ears.
The majority of it is school loans. We both went to private schools.
I didn't finish.
Yeah. And it's a mess. I mean, we have credit card debt, but it's not like terrible.
It's
not
minor.
terrible.
And it'll be paid off before the end of the year.
Yeah, but the biggest thing is our student loans,
Yep.
but we don't like that. So, but yeah, I hope you found this helpful. In
If
some
you
way.
guys are wondering, the Let's Talk Money, if you just ask me in the comments where to find it, I'll actually put a link in the comments to find the book. It's based off of Dave Ramsey. I'll also put a link for the Every Dollar.
Yeah.
And then, I'm sure there's anything else. I may put look up Gary Vee Trash Talk. It's really inspirational for, you know, flipping and whatnot. He's got a lot of information on his website and different places and stuff like that. So yeah, so if you guys don't mind, if you want to leave a comment, like or subscribe or anything like that, would love to get a hold of you and contact you and just start building that community. Other than that, I think we're going to try to put out some small things throughout the week. The other thing you can look at especially is your Instagram, which is...
Which one? My personal one or my art one?
Do your art one.
Paula Renee Art, PaulaRenee Art.
And then you can find mine. I'm pretty sure it's either my name, Michael D. DeRozier. Obviously, look how to spell it from the DeRoziers. And then, or I think it's Drummer Dad 1020. DRUMRDAD 1020. And that's my personal one. You can follow me. I post a bunch on there of family, of things that are going on, and some things that we're trying to do.
Yeah.
But appreciate you guys. If you guys want to know more, just look in the comments, and we will talk to you soon.
Bye.
See you guys.